Time being 5 o'clock, I will call the December 10th, 2019 meeting of the Freetown Board of Selectmen to order. Item number 1 will be an executive session. Under Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21, Paragraph A, Subparagraph 3, to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining with the Public Employee Union Local 1144 Luna Highway Bargaining Unit, because an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining position of the public body, and the chair so declares. The chair so declares. I'm reminded we will be coming back into open session after the executive session.
I'll make the motion.
Motion made, I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Ms. Pacheco?
Yes.
Mr. Sullivan, yes. I will call the weekly meeting, open meeting, back into order at this time. Item number 2 would be weekly discuss and or take action on the following topics items. Weekly warrants numbered 001 through 022 for beginning of fiscal year 2020, and then weekly warrants numbered 023 through 027 for the month of December 2019. What we would be doing is, because the possibility of we not having a meeting in February, we would be voting approving those warrants tonight, and also the warrants for this month.
So that's the December ones? Is that what you're saying?
The December one is under, the December ones are under.
Under 023 to 027?
Right.
Okay, all right, I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion made, I'll second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The annual renewal for licenses issued by the Board of Selectmen's office. And the first one under item 4 is item 4A, which are Class 2 motor vehicle sale licenses for the
They are all listed on the agenda there, just the ones that are received are highlighted in the packet.
Received. Okay.
The ones that are highlighted are what?
The ones that are highlighted in the packet we have not received. So we've not yet received JM Auto Sales, John's Auto Body and Sales, Beach Bluff Auto Sales, Ray's Garage, or Herb's Auto Body Repair and Sales. We've received all the other ones.
Okay.
And packets are complete, all checked out, and also the building department and health department had no outstanding issues with any of the companies at all for any of these licenses.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve with the exception of JM Auto Sales, John's Auto Body, Beach Bluff Auto Sales, Ray's Garage, and Herb's Auto Body and Repair.
I'll second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Under 4B is Class 3 motor vehicle licenses, and they are all in order, and they have all the licenses that are outstanding have renewed.
All right, I'm gonna make, I'll make a motion to approve. I was gonna do all of them. Do you wanna go individually, or you want them all?
Do you want to make a motion?
Yeah. I'm gonna make a motion to approve Class 3 motor vehicle licenses, motor vehicle graveyard license, auctioneer license, all alcohol, and package store licenses, entertainment licenses, and the jukebox licenses, as memorialized in the agenda.
Got that. I'll second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item number 5 is the seasonal population form for the Massachusetts Alcoholic Beverage Control Commission, and it's basically saying that we do or do not want to have a summer population recorded for potential seasonal alcohol license.
I'll make a motion to approve the license as written.
Motion made, second, Matt, all in favor?
Aye.
Item number 6 is the final approval for the 2 drainage projects that were carried out under Chapter 90 funding, one at Oak Lawn Road and the other on Cliff Drive.
I'm gonna double check to see what time I told Chuck, just in case I told him later. Bear with me just a moment here.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna make a motion to approve the Oak Lawn, chapter 90 money. It was first originated at 147, 287.52. The final amount came in at 141, 711.26 with a project balance of 5,576.26. I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, motion made, I'll second that motion, all in favor?
Aye.
I did tell Chuck 5:30, so if we wanted to hold off on the highway stuff.
Okay, well, why don't we do that, just in case he has something to say. So I'll go on to, item number 7, which is, the, would be signing the agreement between the town and Constellation Energy for municipal electrical rates. We see in front of us a memo, and they have different rates. The first is for a 12-month period at 10.11 cents, a 24-month rate at 10.05 cents, a 36-month rate at 9.97 cents, and a 24-month at 9.93 cents, all per kilowatt hour.
This, just to point out to the board, this is basically a renewal of an existing agreement we have with Mun Energy, which is a Maya corporation, corporate entity. It involves specifically the town buildings that are in the town. We would consider, we should consider 36 months being the outside limit, because anything greater than 3 years requires town meeting approval.
This is exempt, we can go the higher one.
What's that?
This was exempt.
Oh,
So we
good
can't
point,
choose
good
the
point,
higher
good point, okay. So I lost my train of thought there. The amount would be recommended would be 9 cents. The current aggregate program that we participate in with, through the town it's the aggregator, instead of Eversource is greater than 10 cents, so the rate is less than the aggregator that the residents use for their energy. So, and it is exempt under 30B. So
All right, I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, at what time period?
It would be the 4 months.
Do
4
you,
years, I
do
should
you want the
say.
4 years?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Motion was made, I will second the motion that we sign the contract for the full 4 years at 9.93 cents per kilowatt hour. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Charlie, can we go back to the chapter 90, because we did Oak Lawn, but we didn't do Cliff Drive.
Right, but
Do you wanna wait?
I wanted to give Chuck the ability to, if he's
Okay,
supposed to be here by 5:30,
okay.
just in case he does have a question, we can continue on with that. Item number 8 is, a request to, increase the amount of, life insurance that the town provides, to their employees. and would be increasing the the life insurance, policy from $4,000 to $5,000, dollars, for in case for death. It hasn't been changed in, decades, and
That's the basic coverage
that's the basic coverage, yes.
paid for by the town.
Paid for by the town. It would, cause for, what's the sum of?
It's gonna actually cost 35 cents per employee per month. Net cost is $470, based on 112 lives. Current insureds are 87, which would be $365. I'd probably go with the higher amount only because we don't know, new hires and people, other positions being created. The other thing is that the vendor is also going to offer to town employees on a fully paid basis by the employee very attractive rates on life insurance, term life, that currently isn't available, and without having the full physical, it's basically a group plan that allow employees to purchase outside of the increase for the 5,000 is a basic. There's an additional layer on for 10,000 that the employee pays between 5 and 10. We're going to layer on top of that an additional plan that will let the employees participate in a group plan that, once again, can be up to as much as $100,000 purchased by the employee. The important thing to mention here is that currently we don't have the $470 in the health insurance account, but I have spoken to Gary Martin. Gary is he didn't say he was in favor. He said he would bring it to the committee. I don't think there's going to be a problem there because there's a small price to pay, by increasing it by $1,000. You might want to predicate the vote on getting the money from the finance committee in the transfer.
So I have a question. Why wouldn't we start this as July 1st?
It's something the insurance advisory committee has been discussing forever. He wants to get in and actually do the rest of the starting enrolling people in the other plans. It's an open door for him in terms of saying, not only do we increase the benefit to 5,000, but we're, offering a very attractive term life policy to the employees. It wasn't even contemplated. We've just been discussing it forever, and we're finally moving it forward. And the finance team has, discussed this at least on 2 or 3 occasions and is recommending it.
So the insurance advisory group,
We didn't run it by the insurance advisory group because it wasn't health insurance per
Okay.
se.
all right, so again, I don't see this as unforeseen though, so it should, for me, I would prefer to see it in July 1st, but we can hold this off for the next agenda if you want.
Well, why can't we just make a motion that, we would approve this upon the, finance committee, allocating the $400 some from the reserve account?
It's $400 per month, correct?
No, it's $400 for the year.
For the year.
It's $30.45 based on 87 people, $39.20 per month based on 112, and it's only going to be a partial year, so it's even less than the $470.
Okay, I guess I just, does this have any impact with collective bargaining?
I
That
would
would be
say
my
no.
second question.
This is a benefit that's paid 100% by the town. It's something that, every town is doing in terms of, you can't even get buried for $5,000 today. So, this is a benefit.
Okay, that was just like a really rude comment to me.
No,
it's not.
Well, I took it like that. I'm not saying that this is not worthy or valuable. I'm trying to
didn't
find.
mean it
I'm trying
like
to do
that.
my fiduciary responsibility and trying to find out.
All right,
what the
time
impact
out,
is.
time out.
No, they're not gonna
I didn't mean
No,
it.
No.
no, Yes, yes,
No,
yes.
no.
You're not gonna attack.
I'm
You're not
not
gonna, no,
attacking
no, I'm not gonna
anybody.
allow it. I'm
You're-
not gonna allow it.
you don't
We're
have
gonna
to allow
stay
anything.
No, if you're gonna be that way, no.
I'm not gonna
No,
be
all right.
anyway. I'm talking
We actually
very.
discussed that. We actually said that at the.
Who's
I'm
hold
talking
on,
very
hold on.
calmly.
Who's no, who's
I'm
the chair?
not-
No, you're not talking very calmly. You
I
made
think
a
can you
derogatory
re-roll the comment?
no. You
Can
made a
re-roll the
derogatory
tape, please?
comment. All right.
I didn't
And-
make a
yes, you did.
derogatory comment.
The chair has
found
decided
offense.
that. The chair has decided
The
that.
chair has decided
Yes.
that that was a derogatory comment.
Yes, you keep.
I
Great,
didn't
then
mean
you
it
agreed
as a
with-
derogatory. I made it as a statement. You
That's what
really
you
can't
said.
get
You
buried
said
for
that was that's a
$5,000.
derogatory comment.
I took it. I said it was offensive, and I do believe that that was offensive. I didn't take it in the. I don't. I'm not saying
didn't
that this
mean
is
it
not
as
a
an offensive
worthy
comment.
and valuable thing.
Let's get back. Let's get back to the topic at hand.
Okay,
The topic at hand.
The topic
is,
on hand is the $423
That's right.
for life insurance,
That's
which
right.
I'm not going to make a motion on.
So you're gonna quiver over.
No, you
let's-
started, not me. I'm asking questions. It is my prerogative.
I didn't mean
to
it as
ask
an
a
offensive
question.
comment.
I
just-
wanted to know what
No,
the-
we're gonna talk.
You're-
Okay, you're not
you're
gonna make the
stop?
motion. We'll go on. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Then, David,
All right.
for the
no,
next
no, we're
meeting-
gonna go on.
No, for
We're-
the
no,
next
no, we're gonna
meeting,
go on.
Can you please find out if this has anything to do with collective bargaining?
It doesn't.
That's,
No, it doesn't.
You're the
The-
chair,
no,
and you're
it
saying
doesn't.
no, and I'm asking the
Because
question.
as you well know, as a public employee, there's a statute that requires that the public
Town
entity,
provided basic.
town, school district, commission, whatever it is, provide life insurance. Okay, and it requires a minimum life insurance. We are increasing that life insurance. That's what we're doing here.
So I'm
So it has
asking the
nothing to do with
question.
collective bargaining. It is not a topic of collective bargaining. It is a statute. You have to provide life insurance. David has come up with, through the,
Insurance.
Insurance-
No, the
well, the
finance.
the
committee.
And that
finance.
was my first question, because I got confused, because you did say insurance advisory committee, which I'm a part of, and I don't ever remember talking about this. That's how this first started. So, and then you said, no, it wasn't. It was
So-
the financial team
All right,
management
we'll move
committee.
on. We'll move
Okay.
on.
Well, then I still will send my questions to you via email tomorrow.
Very good. Item number 9 is the purchase and sale and license agreements for the Eversource for purchase of streetlights. As we know, for 2 years, we have been trying to change the street lights to a more efficient street light, and David has come up with this agreement in which we would purchase the existing street lights, and we would then put up new street lights.
The new streetlights would be LED lights that are purchased through a collaborative bid through MAPC. The approximate cost of the lights is $133. I have some of the lights out in the car if the board so desires to see the Kelvin ratings and the luminosity of it. There's 2 vendors that the consultant's recommending, you know, at this point, we've been talking about this. There is a cost savings. The break even is 4.2 years. The cost of the actual purchase of the lights is going to be $9,000. We're going to get a grant from MAPC for $5,000, as well as discounts on the purchase of the lights through the state. So the net cost will be $26,000, including the purchase of the existing lights and the purchase of the new lights, the consultant, and the installation.
Do you have any questions?
No, I didn't vote on this the last time, so I think you should hold it off.
When are we ever going to address it? It's been 2 years.
I voted no the last time, and I'm
When
still
are
gonna.
we ever going to address it?
I don't know, address it when you get another member here.
Okay. All right.
I voted no the last time because I don't think we should be taking over poles.
We're not taking over any poles. What, we're not taking over any poles.
Are we, who's responsible for changing the lights once we take them over?
Once we put up the new lights, we are gonna be responsible. We'll have a maintenance agreement to do that. If a light
We're-
goes
we're
out,
not
the
taking
ratings
over
on the
poles.
lights are
Yeah, we're taking
20-year
over all
lights.
the lights, so once they go down, we're gonna be responsible for,
Well, right now, Eversource is responsible, and they charge you to put the new light up. The current sodium vapor lights last an average probably 5 to 7 years. The LED lights last anywhere from 15 to 20 years. We're looking at also looking at the lights in terms of having a sensor on them that allows us not only to save money on the initial electricity purchase, but also allowing the lights to cycle down for a period of time between, say, 11 and 5 in the morning, reducing the luminosity by 33%, and as a result, that is not visible through the naked eye. So the thought was that would be an additional savings also. So it was one of my goals. That was one of the things
That
that I
was
was
one of the
been
things
told to do. So
We were told to do 2 years ago. And the lights, we're not having it, instead of leasing the lights, we're purchasing the lights.
for the tune of $26,000.
Correct.
which is in 4 years it'll have paid for itself, and then we'll be saving money for in perpetuity, or at least the 20-year life.
So, well, I guess my question would be to you, Lisa, is are we going to have lights that are obsolete and will pay for obsolete lights that are using more electricity, or do we go with lights that are state of the art and will save money in the end? So I think if you're looking to save money, it would only make sense that we would go
And I
along
think-
with this per.
And I'm not disagreeing. I think the last time I had a question, and the question was, if a light goes down, and Eversource comes out and puts up the new light, what kind of light is it? Is it a newer model light, or are we going back to the
they're,
old?
they're still putting up the existing lights that they've been using in the past. So the sodium vapors. And they amortize those, they charge you for those lights. Those lights aren't free.
Right, so our budget right now is what, $6,000 to
It's like
$9,000 a year?
$10,000, I believe. It's
Nine?
Like 9.
Yeah. For how many lights?
85. The thought also would be to have a higher Kelvin light on important roadways and a lesser light in terms of luminosity. The big thing about the lights, the LEDs, is glare, and that is a factor of more so than the color of the light is important. That's why I wanted to show the board the difference in the colors. But the luminosity is comparable to an existing sodium vapor at a substantial savings to the town, over a period of time. So
Where is this
It's a-
money coming from?
we are that's coming out of the capital facilities. We had put it in there
It's in the budget.
last budget.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second the motion. All in favor? Aye.
Very reluctantly.
Item number 10 is the awarding of the proposal for the Public Works study. And there's two proposals. One is from Municipal Resources of Meredith, New Hampshire. Proposed cost would be $19,500. The second is Community Paradigm from Plymouth, Mass, and the proposed cost would be $15,000. And this would be a study of all public works activity in the community presently, and a particular possible setting up of a public works department, and the costs and potential savings from those.
We did send it out to approximately 6 or 7 vendors total. These are the final 2 that had come in. I just want to also acknowledge the fact I filed with a disclosure with the town clerk because I've had relationships, working relationships, and actually a family relationship with both of the vendors. Not one a family, one a consultant. I worked as a consultant for one of the firms, so I am going to make no recommendation. It's up to the board to decide specifically. The bid is based upon a low bid, so the obvious company is Community Paradigm, but it's up to the board to decide specifically what they want to do about hiring one firm or the other.
I do need more time on this.
Okay, I'll just advise you that there's a time limit on how we can do this, and we would have to have it done by April of actually probably January of 2021. January 2021 to have a vote of the town meeting to decide whether or not to have the Department of Public Works because it would be there's no chapter and section that
Right.
allows for it. We'd have to get special legislation. We'd have to get the special legislation through before, like I say,
You'd have
January
to also
of
create a
2020.
body to direct whoever the Department of Works superintendent is, whether it's through the Board of Selectmen or through an independent Department of Works commissioners. That would be part of the recommendation to the legislature in terms of creating basically a charter for the Department of Public Works.
So, you know how I feel about having a Department of Public Works. I am in favor of that. I just feel like we're gonna do this big study, and we're kind of working like we want it all encompassing instead of starting out smaller, like maybe having an appointed highway surveyor and then, go along that way.
Right.
Or how are we gonna, what is the timeline on this, and are we gonna do it all at one time, and like, are we biting off more than we can chew? Those are my questions.
Well, my response to that would be, if you're gonna do something, you should do the whole thing, okay? If you go and do, I think the view that, we look back and we see, going back to the drainage, issue that we spent over $200,000.
In Oak Lawn.
Okay, in Oak Lawn, in Cliff.
And Cliff,
Okay.
yep.
And it is my view that a Department of Public Works with an engineer as a director, a civil engineer as director, could do the engineering and they could do the construction for much less than what we paid for a private contractor to do it. And so, yes, $15,000 is a lot of money. It's more money than I would ideally like to spend, yes. But the fact of the matter is, if we do the study, we come out, we have a total plan before us. Our questions are answered. We can then go to the townspeople and say, hey, if in fact it is true, we're gonna save money because we're going to consolidate things. We're going to have in-house engineering. We could potentially have in-house construction. That shouldn't be a big deal. Bullock Road was built by the highway department in years past, and it's still certainly in one piece. Yes, it's a big expenditure up front, but I think the rewards that we would get from it are considerably more than the $15,000 it would cost to do the study.
I agree that the highway surveyor should not be a highway surveyor, it should definitely be an engineer, because not only are we wasting money on Oak Lawn and Cliff, but also on the bridges and all of that other stuff that we got ourselves into. I have some questions, I will forward them over to the town administrator, I'm just not ready for that, I'm sorry.
All right, but I'm just telling you that we need this done by January 2020. Pardon me, January 2021.
Yeah,
Every year.
so if we can put
And-
it on the next agenda,
Okay.
then that should be fine.
Right, just that we've been kicking it around for
We have,
over 12 months, and
right,
seems like it's
and
about time to make a decision, but,
I-
all right, we'll go on.
we will.
To, 11, 11, snow, season, procedures for the highway department. Chuck McElmurray, you wanna come up and speak, or,
Whatever questions you have.
well, you seem to be the one who has the questions.
Big issue is the amount of operators that we have.
Uh-huh,
For the last 7 or 8 years, we've had approximately 42 units total, including the town, all the town guys, highway guys, and Mark.
that's 42, right?
42
With
total.
the town, with the town
With the
units.
town. Currently, we're operating 37.
Mhm.
This last snowstorm, we had a lot of new people, and we had a lot of issues that we have a second plow meeting Thursday that we're going to discuss, and I had 2 trucks break down. So that dropped us down to 35 units, and it was, luckily it wasn't a bad snowstorm, we only had 7.5 inches, and we handled it, but subdivisions didn't get plowed until 3:30 that afternoon, where I called out the plows at 3 o'clock that morning. A lot of the newer subcontractors came, they put in their time, and they did their 4 hours and they left. So that's something that we have to address Thursday night's meeting. I think currently we have 3 contracts that came in a day or 2 late. I would like the board to consider hiring those 3 contractors, which represents 4 trucks. That would put us at 41 units, which is close enough. Like right now, we're not doing anything at the school. The last snowstorm, basically, I would go in there, make a pass, in and out, just so people could school staff could get in and out, fire trucks if necessary could get in and out, but we're not plowing the school until at the end of the snow event,
Mhm.
where traditionally we've always had at least 1 truck there.
Okay. School was canceled on Tuesday, correct?
Yeah. But
So it would kind of make, if you're gonna husband your resources as best you can, it would seem to me
the
that
last
would-
2 years, we've pretty much put the school off to the end.
Mhm.
But I always, again, it's a priority to at least make it accessible to the school staff and, more important, fire. In case anything happened, we want them to make sure they're able to get there. But I've got, I think, 1 main route that I've only got 1 plow truck on. And I like to have everybody plow tandem.
Mhm.
South Main Street, as you know, is a pretty busy road. I've got 1 truck on that road. Again, a 3-inch storm, 4-inch storm, not a big deal.
Okay.
Once we get a real storm, it's gonna become an issue.
Right, check. The route that takes in High Street, beyond High Street and Copacut Road, where is that, what does that take in?
Narrows Road,
Narrows
Bell
Road?
Rock Road, Copacut Road.
Okay, and South Main Street?
No.
No?
No.
They don't plow along South Main Street at all?
Only, I mean, if they get done with their stuff, they'll go and help, but like Copacut Road or Bell Rock Road, it's not like a normal road where you can go 15, 20 miles an hour down that road, because it's in such bad shape. That truck has to just crawl along, it just takes time.
All right. Why I ask is because as along High Street, I saw a tandem crew and they went by every hour.
Okay.
okay? So I think we could clearly agree that that was sufficient there, correct, on that route?
I'll buy that, that's,
Okay.
you know,
All right.
this is why, listen, Freetown has the best roads, and they have the best roads for a reason. We've developed this program with the crew that I have, and over the last 22 years of doing this, you can't question that we have the best roads in town when it snows.
Okay.
There's a reason we have this. I have 19 routes.
Uh-huh,
Each route has at least 2 plows operating.
mhm,
Again, the other day, simple snowstorm, we had 2 breakdowns.
right, but Chuck, every year
Charlie,
you.
what do
no,
you
no.
want?
What do I want? No, it's not what we want, Chuck. No,
I-
see, you're not
all
gonna
right.
pass it, we're not gonna pass it, you're not gonna throw it at the board. You
I
are
am-
the elected official.
I, as
You-
highway surveyor,
Okay.
are requesting the Board of Selectmen to approve and sign the 3 contractors that you have that came in a couple days late.
Okay, but
That's
it's
my
not a couple of
request.
days late, Chuck. How many days late were they
From the first
from the
deadline.
first deadline?
Well, I will tell
Pull
you,
out the contracts.
one contractor I know for sure, he works crazy hours. He put that contract in my pickup truck at my house. I didn't know that he did it. That contract sat in my truck for at least 2 days before I realized it was in my truck. So, that would be Laventia, so I don't know how many days late his was.
That one was 6 days past the deadline, and then Anthony Rowland was 1 day after that, and then I have another one, Why Ashley, was sent to me after the fact by Mike. I don't know when that one came in.
And when did Mike send the cards out?
I can't tell you those dates. I don't know.
Okay, but you can give me a ballpark, can't you?
I can't.
September? August?
The original?
Yes.
I would say mid-September.
Okay, so mid-September, you sent out cards to every prior,
I did,
okay, and so that should like kick into,
you're right.
all right. And we have rules for deadline because,
I understand, I'm
because
not
we,
arguing that.
but it's like, if you're a parent and if you tell your child to do something and then they don't do it, you come back on them and you tell them, and if they always say, oh, give me a break, and you allow them to do that, what happens to that child?
I
That child
understand.
doesn't do what he's supposed to do.
If,
And we've done, the reason we have these contracts is to ensure the town is not held liable for something that a snowplow driver does. And we have to know that, and the other thing we have to know, and personally, I think we have to look at the contractor application again and see about making sure that, we have these people who have proper CDL licenses and that they show that they have good driving records and that they actually have their license, the licenses aren't suspended. There's nothing to say that under the present application and so forth, that the person has a valid driver's license.
you're absolutely
All
correct.
right, so, and the other thing is this, okay, you might have 3 other contractors that are now willing to work, or who have, put this off for whatever reason. But the thing is, every town, I'm hearing a lot about towns having shortage of snowplow drivers. And the other thing is this, okay, you had 2 breakdowns, okay? That happens every storm, Chuck.
Every snow,
Every
I
storm.
know that,
Okay.
that's why I'm,
So I don't know what's different here. And so, I said, we set a deadline, and then we extended that deadline, and you're saying, oh, give me another deadline. I don't see the
think,
point.
maybe we shouldn't have a date as a deadline, maybe we should have a number of units as a deadline.
No, because then it could go on until December 30th. It could go on and on.
I understand.
And you
And
know,
if you knew you were short, you should have, and they were your friends, and you should have reached out to them and said, hey, why don't you get your contracts in?
I understand that. Only one of the contractors he's plowed snow for us for 23 years. And unfortunately, his work schedule is he may be 12 hours on during the day, then he's on that night, and he works for a paving company, and it is what it is. He got it late, so if my suggestion would be to sign those contracts, but we may have to readdress this, because I'm sure that after Thursday night's meeting, I'm going to have subcontractors that, because we always lose people in the beginning of the year, because it's not what people.
how many did you have last February?
Last February,
Yes.
I had 42 units.
42 units. How many
That's
did you start out with?
42 units, I do believe. I can't tell you that number
All right.
exactly, but.
And you haven't had any contractors back out as of yet,
We've
correct?
had contract this year, well, no, not yet this year, but we've got a lot of.
Okay, you didn't
new
have any
people.
back out last year.
Last year, we had the same crew that we've had from the year before.
Uh-huh.
So this year, we have an excessive number of new people. Again, a lot of the new people think it's like plowing their driveway. Once they get out there, like I said, this last snowstorm was a simple snowstorm, and we still plowed for 10 or 12 hours. You know, a lot of the newer subcontractors, Eric can tell you, we send out sanders at the end of the snowfall, and my trucks are pulling in subdivisions and there's 3 inches of snow. Because that subcontractor did its thing, and he thought it was done because the snow was lingering. And that lingering snow, we gained 3 inches of snow. So I in turn called contractors in to go plow those routes so we could sand those routes. What I do is, it's explained to them at the plow meeting, anytime I send one of my trucks in or after a snowstorm, if I have to go replow a route, I deduct from their pay. So if I have to send a truck in there for an hour, I deduct an hour from their pay. They're all fine with that, they understand it. Unfortunately, there was 2 distinct routes that we had issues with. All new people, and they basically were called at 3 o'clock, at 7 o'clock they went home. It didn't stop snowing. I think it was closer to 3 o'clock that we went out sanding after the snow. So, there was those subdivisions basically sat the majority of the day with 2 or 3 inches of snow in it. That's unacceptable on my standards. So,
Right, well, my suggestion would have been to tell the people that they're kind of plow until you give them
that's why
Go
we're
ahead.
having another meeting Thursday. This is the first year in
So you-
in 22 years that we've ever had 2 plow meetings, basically.
so you're
2
telling
weeks
me that you
apart.
had problems with 4 drivers, 4 trucks.
For that's just 2 routes. We had other issues. We have issues contacting people, but that's going to be addressed Thursday night again.
I would, through the chair, have the highway surveyor give a report after Thursday's meeting to the town administrator
Yeah,
for review.
I'm just thinking, I had one contractor from Somerset who has 6 trucks, and that made me very nervous, and that surprised the heck out of me, because he did very well. Very conscientious young man, did a great job, so that was terrific. But I had other people that,
So you have bugs you have to work out,
Right.
correct?
yeah, but
All right. All right,
the number of units, we're still down 5
all right.
from
But-
where we've been for the last at least 8 years.
Okay, and I'm hearing that, I heard the highway supervisor of I believe it was Mansfield, complain about the same thing. I'm down like 5 trucks, okay? That's apparently that's a given at this time. Whether people don't wanna plow because they don't need the extra money now, they have enough hours, whatever it is, but that's beyond our control.
I understand
That's
that.
beyond this board's control, and you know, it's up to you to run the highway department. That's what we've always told you.
We will do what we can.
Okay.
You give me 5 trucks, we'll plow with 5 trucks. I'm just letting you know.
No, but hold on there, Chuck.
All right,
We're not
Charlie.
giving,
Don't get
no,
excited.
we're not giving you trucks. No,
Okay.
no, we're not giving you trucks. You are responsible. The board is not giving you trucks or telling you how many trucks you're gonna have. You are in charge of highway. You're in charge of snow removal. Don't put
We
it on that.
understand that.
All right.
Again, this will be the last time we talk about this, and the last time I say it. I am requesting that the board sign those 3 contracts. If not tonight, like I said, I will give David a report on Friday morning about Thursday night's meeting. Because like I said, we may not have all the contractors. Because like I said, a lot of the new people, they come in thinking it's gonna be one thing, and then they quickly realize that it's not fun. And there's nothing that holds them to, and they'll just not plow snow for us anymore. So if we lose more units, I need to replace those units. At 37 units, I'm at a bare minimum. That's, again, a 6-inch storm is a big difference between a 6-inch storm and an 18-inch storm. 18-inch storm, we're losing subdivisions. Now you're putting safety, people's safety, it's not worth it. We've run 42 units for at least 8 years. We've got the best snow program in stop. In southeastern Massachusetts, we've got the best roads, hands down, and there's a reason for that. Because that plow truck drives by your house every hour. That road is clean, every hour that road is clean.
Even if it's raining, but that's beside the point. All right, well,
Okay.
we'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Okay, you'll get back to us.
Other issues I just had for snow, I requested his phone, don't know what's going on with that. Gas for the truck, the guys were great, they had my truck ready, full of gas, but I basically used 7/8 of a tank of gas.
Mhm.
And that was a 7-inch storm.
Mhm.
If we have a substantial snowfall, I'm gonna have to be able to get fuel
Mhm.
somehow, someway.
What we'll do is, you can call Eric, and he'll see that someone rendezvous with you and
fine.
takes care of the issue.
That's fine. That's,
That's simple.
yep, like I said, the last snowstorm, I think between initially calling the guys out, the guys calling me messages and private messages on Facebook, I did 78 calls on my personal phone during that snowstorm.
Mhm.
That's a normal snowstorm. I need to be able to communicate with my contractors, my own guys.
Mhm.
The contractors are nonstop with phone calls. They need to,
Okay.
whether,
But you operated the storm with, all right, correct? You operated the storm correct?
yes,
Okay, all right.
like I said,
Okay.
we're running around like chickens with our heads cut off, but again, it was a simple 7-inch storm. We banged it out, no problem. Every storm is different,
Mhm.
but we'll go from there.
Yep. All right.
Did you wanna do, Oak Lawn and Cliff Drive now?
Well, yes, is there any issue that we should be aware of?
As far as either one?
Yes.
No, both jobs were terrific. Oak Lawn, the state approved 147,287.52, and we did the project for 141,711.26. That was installing drainage on a road that never had drainage, a total reconstruction of the road, new gravel base, new pavement, new everything. Neighborhood people are thrilled. That job came in $5,576.26 under budget. And Cliff Drive, same deal. Install drainage, 2 catch basins, manhole, totally reconstructed the road, new gravel base. State approved the project for $97,798.23. We did the project for $78,332.11. We were under budget $19,466.12.
How much, if I may ask, was engineering on those 2 projects?
I don't have that figure right here.
Roughly?
I don't have that figure right here. In regards to engineering in-house, you just have to understand that you cannot engineer your own projects. Simple projects, which both of these projects were a little bit above a simple project, but like South Main Street Bridge, for instance, you cannot engineer a bridge yourself. You can't stamp your own
We're not
plans.
talking, we're not
I'm
talking.
just throwing that out.
Yeah,
Exactly.
we're not
But I could check with Michael tomorrow, or I could check on the project request what we pay GPI.
Mhm.
But it's, today's day and age, it's a necessary evil. The state won't just give you the approval on Chapter 90 money without having approved plans.
Mhm.
Both projects came out phenomenal. There was not an issue with either project. Bottom line, the townspeople, Oak Lawn especially, were thrilled to death, because that road was put in the early 70s as an afterthought. No drainage was ever put on that road at all. We alleviated a massive problem with ice damming, and a constant flow of water running across that road, so that's a win-win for everybody. Bottom line, I mean, that road only has, I think, 5 residents, and they're thrilled because there's no issues. Years past, the last 2 houses on that road, this time of year, obviously not today, but you traditionally would have ice dams upwards of 6 inches thick, and we'd have to constantly send a sander or a backhoe down there to scrape the ice off of that road continuously. So that's a win-win situation.
Right.
Make a motion to approve Cliff Drive.
I'll second the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
All right,
Okay,
we'll move on.
thank you very much.
Charlie, if I may, are we gonna vote on anything regarding the phone?
Not now. No. Item number 12 is the minutes for November 19th, 2019. And the other minutes are for
December 4th.
December 4th, thank you.
Make a
December
motion to approve.
Motion made, I'll second the motion to approve the minutes of November 19th and December 4th. All in favor?
Aye.
Item number 13, Town Administrators report.
Okay, I have a cable committee meeting tomorrow night. I just want to let the board know that the cable contract expires in October 2020. We are looking for input from the board in the public regarding potential negotiation points. The committee has discussed in the past with council certain things that we're able to get via the contract negotiations, and we're going to pursue those. But if there are any suggestions or recommendations that the board would like to see as part of the negotiations, if they could forward them to me, that would be helpful. We're currently down to 2 members, which is kind of a difficult situation, because you'd really want to get input if there's anybody in the community that's interested in serving on the Cable Advisory Committee. I would encourage you to apply. We had a department head meeting last Wednesday. The budget letter and forms went out to the department heads. All the budgets are going to be due December 31st. I also had a meeting with Gary Martin, who is the Finance Committee Chair, last Thursday, and we talked about the budget itself, the budget schedule, and timelines for meetings, joint meetings between the Finance Committee and the board to discuss the budget. I just want to also let the board know that the solid waste disposal contract with Republic is going to be up June 30th, 2020. I would like to have this on as an agenda item on the next meeting so we can begin to discuss what the town's options are regarding what we want to do in the future. It's a 30B exempt purchase, so the board could go out to bid or accept bids, or could continue on with Republic and have negotiations with them if they so desire. Per my contract, I'm giving notice to the board that the end date of my contract is on June 30th, 2020. So, and I forwarded a letter to the board to that effect.
Thank you. On the cable, maybe we could put on the website.
It is.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. But also for input from.
Yep.
Uh,
Solicit, right.
Fine. You're 2 steps ahead of them. That's good. Usually are. I forgot to at the opening. I'd like to thank the cultural council for their activities in decorating the bandstand area and in their successful Christmas tree lighting on Sunday evening. They did a lot of work, probably around 50 to 60 man hours, and this is all volunteer. No town employee was paid for anything there. All these people doing it on their own time, and I would like to personally thank them, and I think we as a board should send them a letter thanking them. We'll move on to item number 14, which is a update on the police station building. Is there anything?
So we're just negotiating right now for the cell tower. That's still ongoing. I think we have an executive session meeting for that later on today. Trying to get the roof finished up so we can do some of the inside work and move everybody inside. Other than that, the culvert area is finished and things are moving along.
All right. Okay,
Through the chair, may I ask her a question regarding the police station bill?
the police station, what?
I need your permission to speak to her.
Yes, about what?
There was a compressor that was supposedly being donated, and some funds were allocated to, I believe it was $5,200 or $5,400 to install said donated compressor. I don't know if that gift has been approved by the board. I've been to the meetings, I haven't seen the gift. I'm assuming it's more than $50. It would have to come to the board to be approved. I'd also like to know who's providing it and the value.
Well, as to the gift being approved, it has not. As to who is providing it, I don't have that information. But to clarify something for you, the $5,400 was work that was done or will be done to make it the electrical outlets available for the
It was to
compressor.
facilitate the install of the,
That's
of a
right.
donated air compressor that
That's
we
right.
don't have yet.
That's right.
That's why I was just confused that we're spending the money. If we haven't accepted the gift and it hasn't been brought forth to the town, that information isn't
Well,
public yet. I
the
did bring it to the attention of the.
I did forward an email out to the board members with all your questions.
Thank you.
I did get feedback from Taylor McDonald, the project manager, and I just went to go look for it so I could read it off to you. But my computer just died, so I'll get that information for you. But he pretty much itemized all the amounts and I have all that available.
And it is in the police union's contract that they are allowed to do that type of mechanical maintenance on the vehicles.
Yes, they're
Okay,
required to maintain.
okay, I just wanted to
Yes.
make sure, because if
Yes.
they can't use it, let's not.
Well,
put one
if we couldn't use it, we wouldn't be,
And,
and
and actually Taylor
we had
did,
that much common sense.
you know, when I talked to him, he said that he hasn't built a police station that doesn't have one,
Mhm.
so. Right.
Okay, I'll turn it over to you for items 15 through 21.
Yep, I just wanted to make mention, that we usually do a holiday food drive, and, they've renamed this the Karen Mello Memorial Annual Holiday Food Drive. And, donations are being accepted until Wednesday, December 18th. All kinds of items, so cereal, canned meats, fruits, veggies, juices, etc. And you can, donate them over to the town hall as well. Under personnel, I guess the town administrator is looking for direction to, review the town bylaw employees, for their fiscal, hourly rates.
That's correct. There has been, actually, the department head meeting when I handed out the budgets, there was a lot of discussion around pay equity and the fact that, you know, how they should address those issues. And I said that I would bring it to the board to seek some guidance regarding them. I know several of the department heads have done surveys of comparable communities, and at the as preparation for the last special town meeting, I had requested an article to do a wage and classification study. The board decided at that point to not do that, but rather rely upon survey information, and I suspect that certain departments are going to be coming forward with information requesting pay increases to essentially bring themselves up to a comparable level to, as other communities. So unless the board so directs me to say not to do that, you know, it's basically a board decision. But there was discussion about that.
I think you can make it part of the budget process, and we can review each one of those as we go along.
There are, like I said, the departments, a couple of them have expressed an interest in looking at, you know, at their job relative to other jobs. With similar populations, as the board had discussed when we talked about the wage and classification study. So I'm just letting the board know so there's no surprises. If you don't want them doing that, I can also send a directive that not do that. But I think that at this point, I think there's an interest in certain positions that I think that we should probably take a look at in terms of comparable communities and salaries. Ultimately comes back to the board.
Article 10 of the town bylaw had set pays for the positions that come under the bylaw, the personnel bylaw. Those last town meeting, the language was changed to allow for all positions to be to be dealt with by the Board of Selectmen. In other words, salaries would not be part of the town bylaw. The town bylaw last was amended 5 years ago, and those rates have not changed in 5 years. So if someone was to start out in the position newly, they would be being paid at the rate that was approved 5 years ago. So I think we really need to have some salary surveys on these positions, because most of these positions are seriously undervalued in the present bylaw or scale as it is. So I think it's a good idea. I would make a motion that we carry out survey of every position that is in the bylaw. personnel bylaw to see what the salaries are and to make adjustments to those salaries.
In-house.
Well, it's gonna have to be in-house. We don't have any
Right.
authority to. So, yes, you're.
Second.
Okay. All right. Okay then. Want me to be chair here? Okay. I'll.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no,
Did you make the motion?
Yeah,
I'll
well-
second
well-
it. All in favor?
Aye.
There you go. I'm used to you taking charge here.
Well, that's
Um,
what
at
Chairman
the-
does.
If I may, Mr. Chairman,
What,
could you just say exactly a little bit more what you're looking for, so I can make sure Ally gets it?
just to do a salary comparison for each one of those positions in-house.
So, ask the surrounding towns?
Yes.
Like we usually do?
Mhm.
Okay, just wanted to
Thank
double check.
you.
Thanks.
At the November 19th, board discussed the assistant transfer station vacancy. I feel bad because George isn't here. But we do have an opening that needs to be, filled. Do I have a motion from the board to advertise for that?
Okay, I'll make a motion that we, advertise for the assistant transfer station attendant at, I believe it is, was it 19 hours or
20 hours.
20 hours, that we, advertise for one assistant, transfer station, attendant at 20 hours. And then I would further that motion that we open up also for the potential for per diem assistant transfer station attendants.
You making that as a motion?
I'm making that as a motion.
All right, I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Certificate of appointment to Ally Galtz, Derek Macedo, and Vicky King for preliminary screening committee for the purpose of filling the assistant transfer station attendant vacancy. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
You skipped number 16, criminal offender record information checks conducted by the town of Freetown.
That's because I don't have an agenda.
I know, I'm sorry.
The concern there is that the Cory checks that we currently do, with Ally as our Cory administrator, are not as comprehensive as a check that would be done by the police department. They have access to a larger database as well as an extended period of time. Anything beyond 5 years, we don't have access to. So the thought was that maybe we should be conducting the Cory checks through the police department, not doing them individually as a Cory authorized agency or I don't know what word you can use for that. Basically just ask that the police now conduct the Cory checks.
Have you talked to Carlton? Is he all right with that?
I thought, did we mention that to him, didn't we, or?
I have not, but
Okay.
that's not.
Yeah, I'll talk to
I
him
spoke
about
to
that.
him about this basically. I'll make a motion that we carry out Cory checks for new employees on the initial Cory through the police department.
All right, I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, have a motion to approve Eric Richard as the temporary working foreman.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
And, certificate of appointment, so do I have an appointment slip for him? Would you like to approve that as well? Certificate
Yes.
of appointment.
Sure. I'll make that motion.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And also, we have a letter here from Robert Joes to, he expresses, to be considered for the vacancy of, the alternate member of the ZBA. What's your pleasure?
I'll make a motion that we appoint Robert Jost as the alternate member to the zoning board of appeals.
And I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All set?
You also have the disbandment of
Yeah,
preliminary
David.
screening committee for the purpose of filling a truck driver vacancy in the highway department.
I'll make a motion to do that.
Second. All in favor?
Aye. The board will be going into executive session now.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
if I may,
yes.
you brought up the Cory checks, but I had a question for the board or the town. I'm assuming that we do preliminary drug testing prior to hiring people. Is that a safe assumption?
It is a safe assumption.
Okay, does the town have a program or a protocol where they do random drug screening of its employees that operate, any employees that operate motor vehicles upon public ways or machinery?
It's
No.
required by federal law. Anybody that has a CDL license, we do random tests.
So there's a consortium that those individuals belong to? Okay, thank you.
For CDLs.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Under Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21, Paragraph A, Subparagraph 3, to discuss strategy with respect to litigation if an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on litigating position of the public body, and the chair so declares. The chair so declares. And also, under Chapter 30, Section 30A, Section 21A, Paragraph 6, to discuss the lease of real estate if the chair declares that an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the negotiating position of the public body. Space at the new police station site for a telecommunications tower. The board will not be coming back into open session.
Make that motion.
Motion made, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion,
Gonna do the
we're
roll
good.
call.
Pardon me, yes. Ms. Pacheco?
Yes.
Mr. Sullivan, yes.